JB here. Hope everybody's doing outstanding. December 5th, 2024, 3:30 on this fine afternoon. Talk really quick. I don't have too much to talk about today. Uh, as much as I had yesterday. Well, I always have stuff to talk about. But talk quick about the markets. Some names I'm looking at go from there. Take a look at the S&P. It's actually down today, and I think over the last 5 sessions or so, I don't think it's been down in the afternoon. So definitely shocking. No, well, it's down tenth of a percent or so. Nothing crazy, and of course, knock on wood. Hopefully, it doesn't things don't accelerate. It's pretty much at the lows of the session. But ironically enough, we opened at 607.66. We hit a high of 608.48, and we're at 606.69. So it's a $2 trading range. I mean, you do the math, that's crazy, right? So, so uh, 0.38%, whatever that is, just remarkable, the trading range. And well, at some point it comes to an end, and probably is going to be one of those reset days where you hate that you woke up that morning because it's going to be not too fun. Hopefully that doesn't happen before I exit most of the calls, but 610 is kind of the spot, and that's where I'll be watching. Especially into tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think, might be the day that we can get it. Big jobs report. So hopefully the jobs report comes in somewhat in line, even a little bit stronger than the expectation. You don't want to see surprises on either side. I'd be more fearful if it's substantially stronger than expectations. So that's the overall market. Unfortunately, the small caps are not doing their thing today. They found pressure yesterday, but then were able to rebound into the green. Today, not the case. And I think some of the reason, and I was mentioning this before, I think some of the crypto names have taken a huge weighting on the miners and things like that. I've taken a larger weighting on the IWM. So when crypto does good, the small caps seem to do even better. So I don't know if some reason we have some weakness today. Some of those names I have to go recheck the weighting on the IWM, which reminds me, I have to put a reminder for the rebalances. I think there's the Nasdaq's on December 13th. There's always, especially now, and PTON posted some great slides yesterday. I gotta see if I can find them around the outstanding share count. I mean, now that the outstanding share count has kind of gone down as a whole for the overall markets, I mean, there's a lot of volatility end of day, and there's been some crazy moves. All right, rants for other days. Take a look at Unity Software. Just crazy stuff today, and it was hanging in there, ran up to 27, then back down, and it was dipping to 26. Then at 115 or so, it just started to take off, and just crazy call buying. I mean, Tim's posted in the chat room about premiums, and then I go look, I'm like, what the heck is going on here? When it was up 7% a couple days ago or whatever, the calls would be up, 50%, 100%. I go look at the strikes, and out of the money, $70 January strikes are dollar by $1.05, and they're up 5,100%. And that's only because of the last. So I don't know what the last trade was. Maybe it hasn't been traded in 2 days, but a last trade was 98 cents. So I mean, it traded 7 cents. Then you start looking at 65 January strikes, up 2,300%. So that's probably the most realistic. It's probably traded more recently. Just insane. Then you all go to the monthly strikes, the December's, and the same thing, just crazy premium that just got, I think it's 17,000 calls traded. No, 17,000 calls traded on the 30 strike I'm holding, the Januaries. Those, I'm selling yesterday for peanuts. I wouldn't say peanuts, but they're like 12 bags now. So, of course, hindsight's 2020. I was actually thinking of closing those calls yesterday and adding the later strikes. Probably would have done well. I mean, look at the 38 calls that I was looking. I think they were like 25 cents. Those are 264 by $3. So I don't know. So this afternoon, Roaring Kitty posted a tweet, picture of a computer, and then there's times that are stopped. Like one's January. People are trying to extrapolate what he's talking about, and it's almost like. And one of the pieces I read, it's like he has insider information. Not even. It's like, GameStop's gonna do this or whatever. So to me, it's almost like, then why would you have the that's insider trading. You can't do that. So he doesn't have insider information. The only market moving thing that he might have is that he added a position in something. So you saw GameStop go up and then get halted. AMC just kind of in sympathy. Good for the folks who had some of the calls that premiums came back in those. But ironically enough, Unity call premiums started to ramp up into that. So I don't know if people are thinking that there's going to be something on the app side, as it has to do with an app. Well, time to tell. Time. Who knows? Unfortunately, what it's done with Unity is I can't add inexpensive later dated calls now. So I'll just hold my January strikes, and maybe. I won't even have a stop yet because the premiums are up. So I'll just hold on to those. I still think 30 into the end of into January, but it's probably going to hit 30 maybe tomorrow. So awesome trade there on Unity. And then you had the perfect setup. I mean, it was up 11 to 12 sessions. Now it's 12 to 13. Or Golden Cross, 50 over the 200-day moving average. Great stuff. All right, so that's Unity. Excuse me. Now brings me to Roku. They continues to I forget who was TCZZ said it yesterday, the post-traumatic stress disorder with Roku, because it seems like every time you see him, excuse me, you think it's ready to break out, it just disappoints. It typically happens the next day. It's like it trades on different months. Yesterday was 2023 a day, and this is a whole nother year when Roku found pressure. Seemed like none of the news from yesterday was even mattered, but then it found support and hit that 80 handle, which I think is a good sign because now we erased some of the gap there, and then it bounced and almost green just a little while ago, still kind of slightly in red. Like I said earlier and yesterday, I got those monthly strikes and January strikes for time, which would allow me, instead of getting shaken out like it's very easy to do on Roku, I'm able to hold my strikes, and not to mention I'm riding freebies. So I'll continue to hold those. I don't think anything's changed. I think it heads higher in the coming weeks. So that's Roku. The only thing that hasn't changed is how it provides torture. That said, I had the U calls, and I posted this in the chat room. Just take a look at that. I mean, just at 1 o'clock, they were like right where I closed some out yesterday at $1.30, $1.40, and then it just took off, and the premiums went bonkers. So I don't know, and there's a lot of call volume. I have to go and check the historical call volume. 200, it's got 227,000 calls traded today. It's a lot, right? So I don't know how much it normally trades. And again, I said, 17,000 calls traded on the 30 January 30s. 4,000 on the February 30s. I don't know if those are spread, so I have to go look. But anyway, all it's done, it definitely has done wonders for the premium. I'm trying to think, unfortunately, TDOC it's still holding its 200-day moving average. Still hopeful there. PTON looked like it was going to have a lousy day, testing lows at 130, 928. Has since bounced into the green. So that's a good sign. Maybe it's going to get into the 10s tomorrow. Fiverr, it's like similar to talking about Roku. It was like yesterday was a great day for Fiverr, and today's just the complete opposite. It's just there's no buyers today. It's down 4%. Still like that one for upside, but disappointing. Yeah, nothing else I can really think of. That you have that earth. So I don't know if that was some of the reason we sold off at 12:30, the earthquake, and now you have tsunami warnings for California. I don't know how that's all going to play out. If you're in California, obviously, thoughts and prayers with anybody who may be impacted, or if that happens. I mean, hopefully, a lot of the times their warnings, they don't come to pass. So just the fact, though, that they did issue a warning, obviously there's some concern there. I'm still looking at gold for downside. So, I was looking earlier. I still have some January strikes and December strikes. I was possibly looking for the GLD 225. So I might get those before the close, but going to continue to be patient because I think it's only a matter of time when all this chatter is also it's going to be like, oh my gosh, there is a competitor to gold, or at least there's a reason to hold something else and pare back some of your holdings in gold. And so again, I always say this too with gold. I'm not a gold bug. I don't think it should hold as much weight as it does, right? So, I'm not an investment advisor. Hold as much as whatever your investment advisor tells you is part of your portfolio. To me, I just think it deserves a lower valuation. So anyway, that's it, folks. Rock and roll. I'll be back on audio tomorrow. Let's have a great day. Rock and roll.